Hi, I'm Alana Smith, and we're going to continue our lesson about how to read piano music. Since you already know treble, bass, clef, and how the whole idea of reading them goes, let me show you some tips how you can use it in real playing. Well, first of all, I want to note that when you have two keys beside each other, we call it step. That will be a step. It will be step up. We can go step down, for instance, from G. G, F. It's a step. So when we're doing steps in writing, in music, let's say I'll take treble clef, and I'll write my, what note is it? G, right? Because remember last lesson we talked about that the second line and the clef, treble clef resembles the G, so it indicates G. So your G is on second line. Okay, G, and then I will write here, that will be the next note up, so it's a step. G, A. Or I can do this note up, so it will be G, A, B. There we go. So I definitely know G. I may not know those yet, but I already able to find the note that I know and keep following up step by step, like this. G, step up, step up. There we go. Or I can go from G, and I see if my note's going this way. Because I have a line, space, line, it tells me that I'm going steps. Next notes, but this time they go down. So here's my G, next note down, next note down. How about if I will do this? Here we go. Let's see if you can find it. Let's find G, and apparently it's the same key again, and the same key again. And then I have step up, step up. So those three notes the same, calls repeats. And now we're going to do a little exercise. You can write it for yourself as much as you want. Just follow those up and down steps. I call it beads. And I write in black keys like this, because most of the times we'll use those black keys. I mean black notes, because you're using quarters and quarters versus halves more often than other ones. And I'll write like this. And in the end I write the white note. It will indicate your whole note or like long note. Right now I'm not concerned about reading rhythms, so just those will be kind of walking tempo, and this one will be a long. That's it. So right now you don't concentrate on rhythm, just on the heights of the note. Alright, you know that the first note is G. Treble clef, above middle C. There's your G. And now what I'm doing, I just follow, I keep my eyes on my bead line and just follow. G, next up, next up, next up, next up, next down, next down, next down, back to G, repeat G, up, repeat it, back to G. You see, I don't even have to memorize those notes for now. Later on you will, but right now I don't have to memorize everything. I just follow the trail. The key to success in reading music is to keep your eyes on your notes. Don't look at your hands, because since the moment that you look at your hand, you lose your trail. You don't know where you are. So that's the key. You can try to do this trick. Just close. I don't know. Just try to avoid looking at your hands. That's it. Let's try another one. Now we'll do bass clef, and people sometimes get scared of bass clef because it's like, oh my goodness, it goes down, it goes backwards. So it doesn't matter really, because you're doing the same idea. See where your trail goes, up or down, and follow it. or maybe it repeats. We'll start from, let's say, this note. And you already know that this note is middle C. And we'll start this way. Guess what? We're going up or down? I guess down. And again, make the last note long. Alright, since I'm going down, you can see that you're going down, I'll probably start with my thumb so I'll have more fingers to move down, and don't worry about looking at my hand. So here's my thumb on middle C. Every finger takes its own key, and I do not really look at my hand at all. I'm looking at the notes. And let's go. C, one down, one down, one down, same, same, up, up, C. See, you don't even know, maybe right away what's the name of those notes, but you kept following the trail so you're able to read it. Now let's try another tricky thing. You can write those beads yourself in different combinations, repeating sounds and going up and down from notes that you know. And you already know your G clef, you know your F and bass clef, you know your middle C. You may remember this trick with C's that I showed you last lesson, like 3 spaces up and 3 spaces down, that's your C's. So you can use those notes as a starting point. Now, we talk about going step by step. Step, next up, next up, next up, next up, next up, and next up, next up. Now what happens if I will take my eraser and, let's say, erase this note right here? It means I skipped it. Right? I don't play it. It's there, but I don't play it. And how it looks here is my G. This one is my G. Then it's supposed to be A, but I don't have it here. I play the next after that, so I skip the key. So if you see line and then line, it means that you just skipped the space note that was here. You play in a skip. Right? If I'll do the same thing and erase next space note, I'll have 2 skips. G, skip key, next line, skip key, next line. Okay, let's look now at writing how it looks like. Line, skip space, line, skip space, line. So, when you see notes sitting on lines only, that will be skips. Now, what if I'll restore that part here and I'll do a different trick. I start still with G and I play my A and I will skip B. Will it be a skip too? Yes, because we skipped the line note. Still, space, going to space, it gives you a skip, like this. G, A, that's one skipped, C, G, A, B is not there, C. So, if you have only spaces, it gives you skips too. Space, space, space. We'll skip one line note. Now let's try a little trick with our bead reading. Same way. I'll start from our favorite note. Well, let's do bass clef. That's our bass clef. That's our, remember, that's fishing hook. It's F, right here. F below middle C, and we'll start from that F. We'll try this. I will combine steps, repeats, and skips. Now let's see if I can do this trick. So let's find that F. I'm guessing for piano players, what finger will you use to do that thing? Since you have a little bit going up and then a little bit go below, then starting note, I would use a middle finger because this way you have some fingers up and some fingers going down. I'll start with 1, 2, 3, third finger. So put it on F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down is F. And let's go. F, step up, repeat, step down. Now, guess what is it? It's a skip because I don't have a space here. So I skip one key down and then go skip up again and skip down again, step, and finish on F again. Let's try another one on treble clef now. We'll start from middle C. So we'll have two long notes. Again, we're not really concerned about counting or rhythm right now. We're just trying to find the notes and hold this approximately longer. Okay, so this is middle C. Since my C is the lowest note so far, what finger I will start on right hand? Definitely not pinky, because I start on pinky, I don't have anywhere to go up. So from thumb. And when you play it, if I skip the key, I will skip the finger. Like this. Okay. C, skip up, skip down to C again, skip up, skip up. And then from G, I'm going down. Step down, step down, step down, C. Now let's look at the notes. You already know what I did on the keys. Now let's look at the notes and follow the notes. C, skip up, C, skip up again to G. And this is again the same note, G, right? Same height. G, step down, step down, step down, C. You can write a lot of samples like this. Don't go too far. Don't go beyond maybe 3, 4, 5 notes. Try to use skips and steps and repeats, and you start getting more familiar with those notes. So this is one of the methods I called relative reading, and then we'll talk about the exact reading of the notes combination and relative reading in the next lesson.